And then, because, I mean, you seem to be dominating the world of musicals, you're doing Evita in London, right?
Rachel Zegler's big Evita debut was supposed to light up London, but it flopped hard. Are we witnessing the downfall of a rising star? Or is there something deeper behind the empty seats and silent crowds? Subscribe now for the real story Hollywood doesn't want you to hear. Uncut, unfiltered, and backed with receipts.
Yeah, well, we're busy, of course. Evita opens at the Palladium this summer, so we're collaborating with. Rachel was desperate to play Eva Peron. You know, it was her idea, and we saw an audition tape, and she was absolutely sensational.
The drama started long before the curtains even rose at London's renowned Palladium. Fans quickly noticed something strange on the Evita ticketing site. Every single seat was marked as available. Not just a few scattered seats, but every seat, night after night, including weekends and midweek matinees. For a show of this magnitude, that's an immediate red flag.
Huh?
It's gonna be the best time. It's my West End debut. I'm so excited.
You've done a lot of Broadway.
Yeah, I did Shakespeare for 20 weeks. I'm coming off of that right now.
Reports from Cosmic Book News and the Daily Mail confirmed what fans feared. The show was struggling before it even premiered. Despite discounted ticket prices, which typically attract more buyers, the demand was shockingly low. This is a major issue for a show like Evita, a beloved musical with a strong legacy and an established fan base, relying heavily on the star power of Rachel Zegler to draw in audiences.
I never want it to come off as me being ungrateful for the opportunities I have. I can also be having the greatest time and simultaneously wishing people would stop sending me death threats.
For a show that should have been a major talking point in London, the empty seats painted a grim picture. No packed houses, no standing ovations, just a quiet, nearly deserted Palladium. This is a serious blow for a production that counted on big names to sell tickets. Evita, the iconic musical by Andrew Lloyd Webber and Tim Rice, tells the rise of Eva Peron, the Argentine First Lady. Directed by Michael Grandage, it opened in 2025 at the Palladium, but struggled to captivate audiences.
Her versions of the songs were terrific. Jamie's excited, Andrew and Tim are excited. So, I mean, it should make for a fabulous summer at the Palladium, so we're really thrilled about that.
Rachel Zegler's journey in Hollywood hasn't exactly been smooth sailing. Her breakthrough role in West Side Story, directed by Steven Spielberg, did grab headlines, but it didn't perform as expected at the box office. Despite all the critical acclaim, the film struggled to draw in massive audiences, largely attributed to the pandemic's lingering effects. But the cracks really started to show when Snow White hit the scene.
People are struggling, and it may not be much, but when I was young, my parents and I would pick apples.
The movie had an eye-popping budget, reportedly ballooning past $260 million, with some suggesting Disney may have spent closer to $300 million when factoring in costly reshoots. Yet, the film only grossed around $200 million globally. With a production budget that high, the math doesn't add up in Disney's favor. On top of that, the movie's poor reception and public controversies surrounding Zegler only amplified the negative buzz. As the face of the Snow White disaster, Zegler found herself embroiled in more drama than Disney likely anticipated.
People call you Maria on the street?
Boy, do they.
They do. Oh, that's great.
God.
That's got to be delightful,
They
huh?
sing to me
Oh.
all the time.
Oh my God, really?
Fast forward to Evita, and you can't help but wonder if those past projects are haunting her. Her reputation had taken a hit, and it's clear, it affected ticket sales. With lingering bad vibes from her past roles, audiences weren't ready to flock to see her on stage. The low ticket sales, just another chapter in a growing narrative of disappointment.
I just mean that it's no longer 1937, and we absolutely wrote a Snow White that is
not going to be saved by the prince.
She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be.
Zegler's promotional tour for Snow White quickly turned from a press event to a public relations nightmare. Her comments about the classic story rubbed fans the wrong way, and social media exploded with criticism. Why play Snow White if you don't even like the story? One Twitter user posted. Rachel Zegler isn't it, they added. quickly garnering thousands of likes. The backlash spread like wildfire, with many calling her take on the film too woke. Another user tweeted, "We didn't ask for a woke rewrite. We wanted the magic back, not moral lectures," capturing the frustration many felt with the direction of the remake.
And the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. And so it's just a really incredible story for, I think, young people everywhere to see themselves in.
Fans weren't just upset about the film's new take on the fairy tale. They felt betrayed by Zegler's own disinterest in the source material. "This is why Hollywood keeps failing us," one comment read. "Taking classics and turning them into political statements. The magic is gone." Meme culture jumped on it too. Zegler's name became synonymous with the backlash, with viral memes flooding the internet, mocking her stance. Rachel Zegler, making fairy tales woke since 2023, became a meme staple, further tarnishing her reputation just when Snow White needed to shine. The more she defended the changes, the worse the fallout got.
Scary Adventures doesn't sound like something a little kid would like. Was terrified of it. Never revisited Snow White again.
The gamble with Evita was supposed to be Zegler's redemption, but it quickly turned into a costly misstep. The London Palladium is a prestigious venue, known for hosting the best of the best. So when Zegler was cast as the lead, hopes were high. Evita is a classic, with songs like "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina," and a character that demands power and range. But instead of excitement, reports from the production crew revealed a more sobering reality. "We thought we could use her Hollywood fame to sell tickets," one anonymous insider shared. But that didn't translate into theatre buzz. The damage from Snow White lingered.
So I watched it for the first time in probably 16, 17 years when I was doing this film.
Producers seemed to underestimate how much of a toll the backlash had taken on her image. "We thought she'd bring in the crowds," another source added. "But there's only so much Hollywood star power can do when the public's turned on you." With no major promotional push and ticket sales tanking, Zegler's Evita was left fighting an uphill battle from the start.
"It won't be easy, you'll think it's strange when I try to explain how I feel, how I still need your love after all that I've done."
Sources close to the London theatre scene have begun spilling details about the tension behind the scenes. One crew member reportedly shared with a gossip columnist, "It's not about Rachel's talent. She can sing, but she's bringing too much baggage." This says it all. Hollywood's push to make Rachel Zegler the next big thing seems to be falling flat. It's reminiscent of early 2010s Sam Worthington, where studios kept forcing him into blockbusters, but the audience just didn't connect.
You're crying on that stage.
When am I not crying in public? It's so upsetting.
Why were you crying?
Oh my gosh, I saw well, we didn't even see.
As Evita struggles to find its footing, theatres are quietly reallocating promo funds, and insiders hint that if the show doesn't see a significant uptick in attendance soon, producers may cut its run short. Despite Zegler's vocal ability, the overwhelming perception is that her past controversies are overshadowing her potential, leading to a cold reception from theatregoers. Rachel's team, sensing the storm brewing, has been trying to pivot the narrative. She recently posted a cryptic Instagram story. "Art doesn't need approval, it just needs to be made."
Like, when you leave the scene, I turned to the camera and I was like, "Gal's mad." It was but then you were FaceTiming your kids right after being like, "Hey!"
But fans weren't buying it. The comments on reposts were ice cold. That's deep, but so are those empty rows at the Palladium. Meanwhile, some of her diehard supporters are rallying behind her, blaming misogyny and unfair press. One fan tweeted, "You'll drag every young woman trying to do something different. Rachel deserves better." While there's some truth in that, Hollywood's always been quick to turn on its it girls. It's clear the broader audience just isn't connecting with her right now.
And I auditioned for a year.
You auditioned for a year?
It was 9 calls.
No job's worth that, honey, all right?
Compare this to someone like Zendaya, who's built a career with consistent hits, charisma, and calculated moves. Even in more niche indie projects, Zendaya brings in viewers. Or take Florence Pugh, who wins over skeptics even when the film flops. Their careers feel organic, authentic. Zegler's feels like it was fast-tracked, manufactured. And the industry's reluctance to hit pause only makes it worse.
Living. So to get to go back to the stage in London where I made this beautiful film, I have so many wonderful friends out there and restaurants and things I can't wait to go back to this summer.
That disconnect is bleeding into everything. Ticket sales, critical reception, and even fellow performers, who are reportedly wary of working on projects where Zegler's the lead. According to one Broadway gossip podcast, a co-star quietly backed out of an earlier production because Rachel brought too much heat.
Truly. Despite the subject material, I got thrown in, the first thing we shot was the games. And so I wrapped Snow White and the next day was thrown into the Hunger Games.
So what now? If the reports are right, Evita is on life support. Without a last-minute PR miracle or viral TikTok moment to turn things around, the show could close before it ever really gets started. And for Zegler, this could be a turning point. Hollywood has a short memory when it wants to. She could bounce back with a smart indie film, a killer TV series, or even a humbling moment that lets fans see the real Rachel. But right now, it's damage control mode.
I had no idea what I was auditioning for when I auditioned. So it's a kind of a hilarious question to say, like, what drew you to the material? Is that, like, I didn't realize that I was reading lines with Dopey?
So what's your take? Did Rachel Zegler get set up to fail from the start? Or is this just a wake-up call she needed? Is it the casting, the Snow White drama, or has her star power simply faded with the fans? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to know what you think. And if you're all about staying on top of the latest buzz and Hollywood controversies, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss out on the hottest takes and inside scoop.